This is the Riot Podcast, and welcome to it.
And welcome to the day after our Riot anniversary show.
So if you want to truly catch up on all things Riot, you definitely should take some time and check out last night's show.
Yep, it's up at RadioU Riot on Facebook. It's also at a RadioU Riot YouTube channel, which you should be following and liking and subscribing already, but you'll find them there.
Mm-hmm. Today in the podcast, we talk, well...
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
We talk about that new Disney streaming service. I give Nikki Lord of the Rings details that aren't nearly enough for her.
I'm sorry, I wanted just one more piece of details.
Hidden cameras at the tanning salon, Nikki and the Cobra Kai dojo.
Forgot about that one.
Beer cheese, the deepest pool in the world, Captain Marvel shoes, just regular stuff.
Normal, everyday Riot things.
So you guys, please enjoy today's podcast. Have a fantastic weekend, and make sure you check out the anniversary show.
Yep, and you can also email us anytime you'd like, riot@radiou.com, or if you just go to riot.radiou.com, that's our kind of hub for everything. So you'll find all of our social media, our YouTube channel, everything's located there in case you want to go that next step.
All right. Anything else?
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's The Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
You know what? A lot of times here on the Riot, we've got two kinds of stories. Either tech news that the Riot can't let go of, or bad news.
Oh, yes.
Whether it's somebody that broke in, something crazy, right? What if I gave you a piece of just good news?
We can do this.
Well, I don't know how to react to it.
Well, let's practice. If we practice it, even though we might be uncomfortable with it, then the more stories we get like this, the better we are.
I'm so unfamiliar with the content that I'm not sure how we're going to react coming out of it, but we're just going to do it.
Let's just do it.
Okay, there's a guy by the name of Jeremiah. Mm-hmm. He works at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So while he was there, a woman came to the counter to buy her dinner, only to realize that she was completely out of money. Mm-hmm. And so he said, you know what? It's okay. I'll pay for it.
Oh, that's very sweet of him.
So he paid for it out of his own pocket.
Yeah.
Gave her dinner. She posted an Instagram post of him. It's just spreading like wildfire. And Andrea said that it was an incredibly gracious act. That was such a welcome thing at the end of the day. So let's see.
For someone to pay for her meal.
Yep. This handsome young man is Jeremiah. Friday, a long day at work. I didn't get a lunch after leaving the barn around 9. She works with horses.
I was going to say, I don't understand that life.
So
don't get it.
There you go. So
That's so sweet.
She wanted to post a thank you post, and she did, and everybody's talking about it.
We see those every so often, and those are the people we should be celebrating and recognizing for their nice deed.
Well, look at this. Said, if he hadn't done that, I probably would have gone home and went to bed without eating. Before I left, he gave me a hug.
Aw, that's a nice guy. That's
See?
good. That's good. And now this is how we're supposed to respond. That's a good story.
So that was
We like it. It's not something we hate. It's a really good story.
So there you go.
No, see, we don't have to. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? We don't have to. We just give it to Project. Just give it to Project 86 and let the story just settle with everyone with warm fuzzies.
Okay.
I know. You hate the Riot. Why are they on the radio?
Stupid. Yeah.
Honestly, we can't trust them with anything else. It's the Riot on RadioU.
You know, of all the friends that I have, and Nikki, I'm very popular.
You are flush with friends.
So many friends. I have people lined up outside my door every morning asking if I have any time available just to be in a photo with them or spend a little personal time.
That's what we're just used to knowing that comes along with you and your many friends.
And so, Nikki, among those millions of friends that I have, only one of them has seen Cobra Kai in its entirety.
Cobra Kai? Me! I don't know why either.
It's
I
you.
don't know. It's
you.
me. I'm the only one.
Nikki sat down and binge watched a YouTube original.
That is not the same because they're like
They're 30 minutes.
Oh, they're very short. They weren't full 30 minutes.
Yeah,
no, they weren't. It's like 24 or 19. I don't even remember.
No, you know what you're trying to do?
Make it okay.
You're trying to save face.
And there also wasn't that many episodes. So it wasn't like...
There was 10.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there was. We need to look it up.
How
I
many
want to know how many and
episodes of
how long
Cobra Kai
exactly.
season 1? Okay.
I don't feel like it was that much.
10 episodes.
10 episodes at 10 minutes apiece?
No, Nikki, they were 30 minutes apiece.
Not on the dot. They can't be.
I know
I
they
didn't
were.
put that much time in it, did I?
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did.
I don't agree with it.
You did.
But either way, it was bad.
Let's take a look. Season 1, episode 1. What do we got here? That's 27:31.
Not 30.
You know what? You're right.
I'm right, you're wrong.
You're right. Let's see. Here's episode 2. 27:24.
Thank you. Again,
All right.
that's not
You know
30
what?
minutes.
You know what this tells me? This is airing on TV in other countries.
You think so?
Yes.
Probably. Or at
If
least they
they're-
want to make sure it could potentially.
If they are consistently nailing a time like that, they are absolutely being aired in a country somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nikki, because you're such a huge Cobra Kai fan,
Cobra Kai was the YouTube, not remake, but continuing of the Karate Kid stuff.
that's exactly right. So, Karate Kid, the movie, but not the Jaden Smith one.
No.
No.
The other
This was
one?
like the 80s one.
Because the people from the 80s were in this one.
Yeah, they are. They're the
And
characters.
Now also just not to defend, I want to defend myself again, but remember that weekend we were both supposed to watch it, and then I came back and I was the only one who did? Do you remember that?
I remember.
It's supposed to be a team effort.
I remember that.
And I put the work in.
Oh, Nikki, look, here's one other person. Aaron says, I've seen Cobra Kai and I'll be your friend.
Thank you. How does the riot with Aaron and Nikki sound? Does it sound good?
I think he was talking to me.
Oh, for me? Oh, I thought because he's seen it.
Well,
He wants
we were
to be.
talking about how I only have one friend that's seen it.
Okay.
So,
I thought because I've seen Cobra Kai, he wouldn't mind being my friend.
well, here's the thing that he could be both our friends.
True.
It doesn't have to be a mutually exclusive friendship.
I just want to know that Cobra Kai people are like, what's the big deal about acknowledging that you did watch our show? Why is it so bad?
I just like it because I know that Nikki is a little uncomfortable with the fact that she's seen it all, so I want to bring it up.
And Keith texted Nikki, that's only 5 hours total. That's like one of the Hobbit or Lord of the Ring movies that Obi likes.
It's true.
That is.
And listen, Keith, I didn't like the Hobbit movies, okay?
Even we all agree.
I mean, that's
those are way
something-
too long.
You want to see Nikki and I agree on something fast?
we
Let's start
can.
talking about the Hobbit.
So I'm sorry, Cobra Kai, they're doing another season or
Yeah,
what?
they announced their next season April 24th.
Surprised that wasn't faster. I mean, it did really well for YouTube Red.
What has it been, a year, I think?
It feels like more. Feels like a lifetime ago.
I don't. No, it's been like a year because I had a friend of mine who we were like, hey, we should totally watch this.
I was the friend.
No, there was another
You're
friend.
another
It was my friend Wes. It was like, we should totally watch this. And instead we played Far Cry 5 all night. So that was back in July.
That's July, so it was before
Because
then.
people were setting off fireworks and we were like, what's all that noise?
All right, so if you watched Cobra Kai, the second season will be back.
Yeah. Hey, Nikki, we should watch it at the same time.
Not going to fall for it this
We
time.
should watch it at the same time.
I'm going to wait for you to give us a report about how was it this time.
Well, it says here Daniel's opening his own dojo and he's doing lessons for free. Woo!
That to get us excited.
Ever grab milk right out of the fridge to pour in your cereal, only to realize that your stupid roommate left an empty carton in the fridge? That emptiness is nothing compared to how you're about to feel. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Now, Nikki and I, this week, we took a tour of a new gym facility in our area.
We did.
We looked around, and Zach, a very nice person, took us around, showed us all the different things that they had available. Do you think you're going to do it?
I am next week.
Oh, you are?
I think so.
I think I might, too.
It's so cheap, and it's so close.
It takes me forever to break up with my existing gym, so...
Do you have to put in a notice or something?
Like a written notice 6 weeks in advance. I have to go in for a lie detector test and cross-examination.
Might as well start the process.
Yeah, it's lengthy, but it's fine. And then you have to put up with the verbal abuse.
I hate any company where it's like, you really want me to send in a letter? Like, and that's what most of them do to make it so hard for you to break up with a company.
They want you to go, whatever, and just keep going. And I'm not going to do that.
Okay,
I think I'm going to start the other one. So one of the things that Nikki and I saw on our tour was they've got tanning bed facilities there. So Nikki and I can, if we go for the bigger membership,
you're going to be
Nikki
like, what's different about them?
We can start tanning, which, that sounds like a really bad choice.
We can't get into any more.
But they're saying we can. But here I'm finding out, just right on the cusp of us finding out that we can go to the gym and go tanning. Here's a guy that who works at a gym who was taking photos of people getting naked and getting in the tanning booth.
That's what we're afraid of.
Well, you know what? Okay.
But he worked there? Or
yeah, he worked there.
He was an employee?
That was like his whole thing. He was, taking pictures of things, like working out at the gym, taking pictures of people tanning, et cetera, et cetera. But I've thought about this, and you know what?
Doesn't matter?
Well, I just don't think, like when I went in the room.
You might not be the target.
I think he would be like, let's turn the camera off.
No pictures today.
No, we're not taking it. No. We're not photographing that.
I wish there was something that you could like keep in your bag, and it would just, sweep the room with it just to make sure. Are there any cameras or anything?
I'll bet something like that exists.
That way it would alert you and tell you.
I'm just willing to bet that you probably don't want to pay for it.
It's its own bag. You bring it with you whenever. It costs you $1,000.
Yeah.
But what is that compared to your security and safety?
You know what?
It's a lot of money.
Actually, Nikki, people trade their safety and security for money all the time.
That's true, but maybe we could just not do that if we're an employee of a place or anybody.
You mean
if we could just not take pictures of people when they don't? That'd be much appreciated.
You ask a lot. You really do.
I didn't think I had to ask. I thought that was just assumed.
Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, you tell me, hey, I'm going in this room, I'm going to get naked, and I'm going to be very well lit.
From the tanning bed?
Don't look.
You're walking into it.
I mean, you're asking for it.
That is ridiculous.
You're right.
Come on, guys. Come on. Let's just be able to go to the workout place and not have another problem.
So he was doing this, and then he was posting photos to a Russian website.
Of course.
What? Okay.
Well, that and election stuff.
Russia's got everything.
It's got all of our stuff.
They've got everything. They run the country. And they've got our nudes.
How weird.
It's weird, right?
All right, well,
So do you still want to sign up for that gym?
Not for that package. I'm not risking it.
I don't know. Zach didn't seem like he'd be taking photos of us naked.
I don't want to. I don't want to do any of that.
The other side of it is, how well do we know him really?
That's all you need to do is just go in layers. So like you have your workout layer, and then you have another layer, but you never ever take all your clothes off. You just get changed, don't change in the changing room.
Yeah, but this is for the tanning bed. You're supposed to be...
No, you just tan, like with...
Farmer tan?
Tan lines.
I'm going to the tanning bed and I'm farmer tanning.
Yeah, no, like you wear a tank top or something. You just always have these tan lines.
Great idea.
You have your safety.
Great idea.
The Riot.
Apparently some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
RadioU.
So Disney Plus... Disney streaming service that's supposed to launch, by the end of the year?
Yes, and like I mentioned, they're supposed to give more details or show it, at least in some form, later next month, but it is their Netflix service.
Right.
But not Netflix, it's theirs.
It's their service.
It's the thing that all the Netflix stuff from Disney will be going to.
Well, that's the thing they announced yesterday that I find fascinating. They say that with Disney Plus, their streaming service, every Disney movie ever will be available.
Ever?
That's what they say. Now, of course,
aren't they notorious for
they have a couple of weird, racist movies from the 40s. They say those they're not going
back. But don't
actually, they didn't say that. But everyone's saying, yeah. But Song of the South or something? They're like, nah,
that's not going to be on there. Yeah, I guess did they used to do the Vault thing where you could only get certain movies at certain times?
That is why maybe I'm a little more amazed by it than some people will be. But I used to work in a record store, and we sold movies, and people would come in looking for a movie on December 23rd, and they would get so mad at you that you couldn't get it for them. And I don't mean frustrated, peeved. I mean, you've ruined my child's Christmas. This is your fault.
Why are you not giving this to me? But Disney would just limit the sales of certain movies for certain parts of the year.
So that's what they're saying is that they're gonna dump it all.
Right.
It'll all be on their streaming service.
It is safe to assume I bet you will all join it. I mean, everything we watch is connected in Disney some way, somehow.
Yeah.
They just own so much.
For me, it's really going to come down to probably some of their original programming because I got to be honest, I'm not dying for another copy of The Little Mermaid or whatever.
But what's their turnaround going to be for their movies?
Another great question.
Netflix is actually pretty quick for a lot of the Disney stuff, but will they stick to that same, I don't know, usually 3 or 6 months after it comes out digitally? Or will it be faster than that or what?
It's a good question. They say, they're still going to be selling their movies, and I'll probably be dumb enough to be out here still buying them. But I guess to me, the thing about it that becomes... No, let me rewind. You were talking about the 3 to 6 months. A lot of times home video releases and streaming stuff, it's dictated by deals that they're signing with movie theaters. So the reason it takes 3 months for a movie to come out on like a home streaming service or whatever is because the people that own movie theaters have forced them to sign deals that say, hey, we get a 90-day exclusive window on this movie. So like that's a thing that happens.
But they must have enough time between its digital release and its digital sales and then a digital release on their service, because then that hurts their sales. So I wonder what is their sweet spot, that if they figured it out at all.
I think what it comes down to is really what's more important to them. That they sell you a copy of The Little Mermaid on 4K.
Or
and I only say this because I think it just came out on 4K.
Yes, I've been seeing the ads for that too.
Yeah.
Or having you a part of the service where you're paying every month.
Right.
Sure.
Which way do they get more money out of you long term? Because in a lot of ways, the smart bet would just be to buy a copy and own it forever. But you're like, man.
This way you're not actually owning a copy.
You don't own anything.
You don't own anything at all.
You're paying $15 a month to borrow it. And no, we don't know what it's going to cost you. You know what? If they're dumping every Disney movie ever, and it's all those animated shows, and they're putting a Star Wars live action show, they're putting a sequel to High School Musical live action, they're putting, I can't remember what else. I'm just going on record right now. $19.99 a month.
You think so?
They're going to have
the 15?
They will have an introductory price, but not long after this thing launches, it's $20 a month. I'll bet you it is.
Probably.
And people be watching.
The worst of the riot. It's like Lucky Charms, but no marshmallows. Radio U.
Nikki, what's the deepest pool that you've ever been in?
The ocean. No, but you mean a pool?
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fair.
A pool of water or like a swimming pool?
A man-made swimming pool.
Man-made swimming pool. I think the normal... like we did with swimming in high school, we had a diving pool.
Yeah.
So whatever that would have been.
12,
like it wasn't
12 feet maybe?
No, I think a little deeper. It wasn't
15?
a lap pool. It was
just for diving.
It was for diving, so that one was deeper.
Okay. I think a 15-foot pool is the deepest that I've ever actually been in. But right now in Poland, they are building Deep Spot. Deep Spot
where
will be...
all the cool swimmers are going. Are you going to the Deep Spot this weekend, Obi?
I actually think it sounds really awesome. This pool is 148 feet deep.
But is it for people that do the practice holding their breath, or what are they doing?
It's going to be a little bit of everything. First off, there's an underwater tunnel, so you can, you can walk out into the pool. They have like an encased tunnel, and then they have like things that you can just swim through for funsies.
Wouldn't you have air with you, or
both?
Gotcha.
You'll be able to.
Because I would think it would be a liability.
You'll be able to take scuba gear, but then you'll also be able to free snorkel. What kind of limitations and rules will there be? I have no idea. I just know that they got a super stinking deep pool going there.
What is it called again?
It's called Deep Spot. I just sent you a link to it. Okay. The thing that's wild is it's 148 feet deep, but it's only going to hold the world record for deepest pool for 6 months.
And there's something else coming?
Because they are getting ready to open a swim center somewhere in the UK, but that one will not be open to the public. That will be for deep sea training and...
like military stuff?
Robotics development, I think they said, or something like that.
Like submarines and things?
I guess. Sure.
Fun.
submarines and stuff.
If you're into that, this could be fun then.
Man, I remember when I was a little kid, there was this diving pool.
Yeah.
I learned to swim at this place called Subaquatics, and they had this one pool that was really deep that was to teach people like scuba, whatever. And if you look down in the pool, they had a shark painted on the side of the pool.
It would freak you out at the bottom.
And I would be so scared to walk over to the side and look in. Now, keep in mind, this shark was painted there was, I think, approximately 6 inches long.
But it felt
and
bigger.
It was just a shadow of a shark. It didn't have anything else on it.
Well, it looks neat seeing like the renderings. And now I get what you were saying about a tunnel that you could actually walk through into the pool, but you're not in the water. You can just walk through a tunnel and see everybody else swimming.
You can watch them swim, or
Neat.
You can go on out there
Hop
and get
on
wet.
in. Have a good time.
I would be into that. Like, I would do that. So you and I got to get to Poland, and soon.
Well, we have a little time left until they build it, and then we can work on getting there.
All right. Well, you know what? I got time.
Worst of the riot, not enough? Not enough. Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
During the show this morning, in case you missed it, Nikki made a profound statement in which she said that basically the people that are making flavors, they've run out of the flavors that we really like.
Pretty much.
And now they're just grasping at anything they can find.
Or at least for us, they've run out of the flavors that we prefer. So
Right.
I feel like outside of a couple of the more recent cereals that kind of really hit that sweet spot, outside of that, a lot of the food fights we've been doing, we're just not interested in it. The flavors don't taste so great. They don't even taste sometimes anywhere what we think it would taste
Right.
like. So I don't know if it's just our hearts have changed and we're not into those flavors. So
maybe. But I feel like your original point is illustrated incredibly well by the new Lay's flavors that they are pushing on us this spring.
So for Lay's, they do this every year. And I think these aren't they fan-initiated flavors?
I
And then
don't
we
know if-
vote on that?
I don't
or?
know if these are.
Okay.
Because there's nothing here like about it being like fans and pick our new flavor. I think this might just be
From them?
like new flavors. They might be doing their own work, which is shocking, I know.
So you have 3 flavors that you're supposed to then, I believe, vote on later and see what we like. Or are these just the new flavors?
I think they're just
New
temporary
flavors?
new flavors. Yeah, I don't see anything about voting on them.
So Lay's dropped the trio of the brand new chip flavors. The first is a wavy electric lime sea salt.
Okay.
No,
You
no.
know what?
Maybe.
I could probably do that.
Okay.
I like sea salt, and I do like lime. I find it odd on a potato chip. That seems more like a nacho chip.
Sure.
You know, like that makes a little more sense to me.
So they have a kettle-cooked classic beer cheese.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, I thought you might actually like that one.
You know what? Maybe it's good, but I'll just tell you, the photo combined with the phrase beer cheese,
It's just
to me,
beer?
it's just like, oh, that sounds so
It's
gross.
a big glass of beer and a big hunk of cheese, and that's it. There's no way to glamorize that one, I feel. Not with the cheese.
I don't know what it is exactly, but that makes my stomach feel unsettled when I look at it.
Well, wait till the last one. There's a Lay's Flaming Hot Dill Pickle Remix one. So think Flaming Hot like Cheetos. They have dill pickle chips already for Lay's. It's a Flaming Hot remix version of those.
No, there's nothing in that I like.
So none of these 3 flavors?
I don't like Flamin' Hot stuff because they're not really that good. I know everybody's like, the Flamin' Hot Cheeto will change your
sometimes
world.
they just try to hit you with too much heat or too much of that flavor, and you don't get enough. My problem is I really prefer a wavy chip, and the only wavy one out of these is the lime sea salt one.
Really, Nikki does prefer a wavy chip.
I don't like the flat ones.
She's
I don't
not
like
just
the
saying
normal
that.
ones.
Ooh, you know what? We should go get. Did you bring your Takis back? Did you take
No,
them
I
home?
took them home.
I'm gonna go get some of those Pringles that are in the break room.
I had the, I think it was like the habanero, like nitro sort of Takis last night.
Yeah.
Dude, I ate those on the way home.
Did you? That'll
Rubbed
keep you up.
my eye.
Oh, come on! What are you doing to
Crying.
yourself?
Crying.
What are you doing to yourself?
I'm not crying because to me the chips weren't even like that hot at all.
But
it
in
was
your
just,
eye?
But in my eye it was hot. It's like, no, just get me home. It's dark out. It's late. I was like, please.
I don't know what's going on.
If I get pulled over, I have to explain to the police officer, hey, I'm sorry, I rubbed my eyes with the Taki habanero hot spice.
Let's see. Andrew says beer cheese is basically the German version of queso, and it's
Sure.
great. Okay.
There, it's just cheese.
Yeah.
All cheese is beer cheese.
Again, I don't know what it is, but there's something about that photo that my stomach is just like, oh, I can't. Why? Like, why is that?
Probably because we had a late night last night.
Did somebody force beer cheese on me at a young age and I'm having flashbacks? I don't know.
Maybe. We'll have to look for these flavors. So if you see any of the new Lay's flavors, we'll try those for an upcoming Riot Food Fight.
That feeling when you hear that every school in the state is closed, but yours? Now you know how we feel. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
So yesterday, I went to the store before we did the Riot anniversary show, which of course you can catch archives, Facebook, YouTube, or riot.radiou.com. And it was, I would say probably... I was there maybe a total of 20 minutes, and I think I was in about the 18th minute when finally it was just like, okay, I get it now. I get it. And it started in the parking lot. It was a rolling realization. I'm pulling in, and all of a sudden, it was like there were just people everywhere. I'm trying to pull into a parking spot. The person next to that parking spot starts pulling out. Then the person next to them pulls out, then pulls back in. In the meantime, people are walking in between. This car's pulling up. I'm just sitting there waiting to park. I eventually get to park. The people begin honking and yelling at me because apparently I took the spot they wanted.
Sure.
Keeping in mind that there's a spot right next to the spot that I just pulled into.
Doesn't mean they're not mad.
There was something special about that one. And I got out of my car and they were like staring and looking at me as I'm getting out. I was like, it's fine. It's fine.
Did you wave? Because sometimes waving feels like instigating or like it's causing a problem.
I've done that before, but I did not do it this time.
And you could just be like, sorry as a wave, but it might just escalate it.
I didn't want to acknowledge. I was just like, I don't see them.
Just
I didn't hear that. I don't know what's going on. So went in the store and decided not to get a cart. Ended up in like a line for a cart, even though I didn't want a cart. But it was like there were so many people in and out. I'm like, it's fine.
Where are you going? Like, I know where you went, but my gosh.
Got inside, and it just escalated from there over and over again. And I was checking out, doing self-checkout when something happened there too. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you know what? I just want you to know that on the outside I was calm. I was fuming on the inside. I was like, this should have taken me 3 minutes. Like we're 3 hours into this trip. What is going on? And then it occurred to me, I'm like, I'm the one with the problem. It's not all these people. All of these people are fine. They're all just going about their daily lives. Everything's fine. I'm the outcast here. I'm the one that wanted to quickly park, walk in, get something, and leave. It's the rest of the world that is moseying. It's the rest of the world that's just enjoying their time at the store.
So, like, you should have known better than to think that?
Well, I just mean, like, it's finally occurred to me, Nikki, like, my entire life I've looked around, like, what's their problem? What's their problem?
It's you.
And you know what? If you're constantly looking around going, what's their problem? It's nobody's problem. It's your problem. Because you
it's not working for what you're trying to do at that moment.
And you know what? I really calmed down in that moment because I was just like, oh yeah, because I was just like, you know what? I'm the weirdo that doesn't want to spend all night wandering around this place. I'm the crazy person that believes in parking quickly and getting out of your car, not, wandering aimlessly, car or no car, through the parking lot. It's me. I'm the weirdo. And you know what? I apologize to everyone that has to encounter me because they're just like, what's his problem? Why's he in such a hurry?
You should know better than to go into the store.
I'm telling you, I'm the weirdo, guys. It's me. I'm the one. And it's not just at the store. I think there are a ton of other circumstances in life where I've been like, what's their problem? And it's not their problem. I'm the problem.
It sounds freeing.
I certainly, I'll just tell you, I relaxed.
Hopefully for them.
And then when I went out, oh my gosh, this is a true story. When I went outside, the lady is in a minivan next to me. Rather than load her groceries in the back of the car or on the driver's side of her car so that she could put them in the back, she went around to the passenger side, stood directly in front of my door, unloaded her groceries into like the side of the minivan. She's alone. It's not like there's people in there. Then this really happened. She's got her cart, and she starts walking her cart forward. She stops, stands there for a couple of minutes, and then backs up and is walking backward into me with her cart. And she walks backwards all the way out, stops between the two cars like she's driving, looks both ways, and executes like a 3-point turn with the cart. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I feel like
Stop going to places.
At this point, I'm being punked. There has to be a camera somewhere, but no, Nikki.
That was your fault.
I have the problem.
That was your problem.
That lady was just living her best life, and I am the one with a problem.
Now you know.
But I was fine with it because, again, it was just affirming. Look, you have a problem, Obadiah. Look.
The Riot is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking. Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
Radio U.
There is a story in the news that if you like music, it's actually a really big news article. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to hear it. You're going to glance over it. You're going to pay very little attention to it. But it will affect you.
Okay.
And here's the story. Right now, Spotify, Pandora, Google, and Amazon are appealing a decision from the Copyright Royalty Board. In fact, I think they might be suing. Like, I think they're trying to move it into court, or it may already be in court. It gets a little complicated, which is part of why you'll just stop reading the story.
Well, I think they don't mind if you get confused.
So here's what ended up happening. The Copyright Royalty Board has approved over the next 5 years a 43% increase in royalties for music.
Whoa.
Now, that increase is for streaming services.
Sure.
But what it really comes down to is, think about right now, you pay $10 a month for Spotify or $10 a month for Google. Now, all of a sudden, if Google came to you and said, hey, we have a 43% increase, so we're going to need you to pay for it. So your Spotify or Google or whatever went from $10 to $15.
Because it's not like those companies would just take it out of the profit that they're earning.
Oh, no, you will pay for it.
You'd be the one to have to take care of that cost.
Now, they might, potentially this increase happens over the course of 5 years. So most likely what happens is in 2 or 3 years, the price goes up $2 or $3.
Yeah, but they're doing that anyways.
Well, they are.
They would.
But you're right. But it's just one of those things that now they're not going to pocket that money. But the reason this is important, it's a kind of a twofold thing. One, because it's going to affect you. And so your immediate response is going to be, well, we've got to stop this thing. But remember, it's not money that's going to them. It's going to the people that write the songs that you listen to. Because one of the big problems that's happening right now is that you're subscribing to Spotify, Google, whatever, and the artists that you listen to over and over again, you stopped buying their albums and you just listen to them on a streaming service. Basically, that has cut a huge hole in the music industry because there used to be a certain kind of artist that could sell CDs and tour a little bit, and they could make money as a professional artist and continue that career. They can't do that anymore because Spotify's royalties are so low. And you're not buying the music that you're listening to. And a lot of people compare streaming services to radio. Well, here's the deal. We pay royalties in order to play music.
To play licensing.
But back in the day, you would hear something on the radio and then you would go buy it so you could listen anytime you wanted. With a streaming service, yes, you're paying to listen to it, but you already hear it anytime you want. And so you're not buying albums. Artists are maybe not starving, but their careers are drying up.
Well, you have to realize in order to be a truly successful artist, you have to be the one that's writing the music. And that's not the case for a lot of bands.
Yeah, it is a multi-layered onion, undoubtedly. But I will tell you that this right now, maybe even go back 3 or 4 years, will be remembered as the streaming golden age. Because what's basically happened is that you and I have gotten unbelievable amounts of content for very little money because technology outstretched the companies and their licensing agreements. That's why Netflix used to have everything. And it's why Spotify and Apple Music and whatever, they have everything. But the time is coming when it's not going to be like that.
Just means that in the next couple of years, when that increase is bound to happen, instead of the $2 to $3, it might be the $4 to $5 or the $5 to $6 or even more than that. And that would be the reason why it is catching up with itself.
$10 unlimited music may be the good old days that you tell your grandkids about.
They don't offer anymore.
When I was your age, we could buy gas for 10 cents. That's where you're headed.
The Riot.
They hate me, they hate you, they hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? Radio U.
Let's cross Middle Earth to talk about the Lord of the Rings.
So Amazon spent a lot of money.
$1
billion on the Lord of the Rings rights, not for like remaking the movies.
Right.
But almost like a prequel sort of thing.
They are able to, well, first off, they bought the rights, I guess, to like everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up settling with New Line. So the art design and the music, like all of that kind of stuff, they're going to be able to use that in the show.
So it'll look like Lord of the Rings because it is, because they spent the money for all that.
But what we haven't known is, as Nikki said, they're not going to remake the movies. They're going to be making...
Yet.
Yes, that. They're going to be making side stories, background stories, different things. And everyone has assumed that would be a young Aragorn TV show. He was, the king from Return of the King, Viggo Mortensen.
When he was in Middle Earth High School.
Right. But
Middle Earth High.
That's not what they're going to do.
What?
The big hint that they laid out yesterday was that it's going to talk about Numenor.
Numenor?
Yeah. Now, many of you...
You feel like things just went down a little bit?
Like some people just tuned right out.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm out. I'm out.
You didn't spend all that money on that, did you?
Well, I'll tell you what, Nikki. I'm going to mess up a few of the names, but the bottom line is it has the potential to be amazing. One of my favorite things is in the... great. The book that came out, it's the Lord of the Rings book, but it tells the back history of Middle Earth. The...
Silmarillion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a big section of that called The Fall of Numenor. And if they are going to make a 10-hour whatever of that could be freaking spectacular.
What are the chances, though?
I'll bet they will. Because what it's going to be about is Sauron, the really bad guy from Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. That's where he gets his start. He causes the downfall of basically mankind on the island of Numenor. And there are these two races. There's the Eldar, who are the elves.
Boy, when you just say it just is so much to really be like, yeah, I'm so excited. Even though when you watch it, it's entertaining.
You're going to love it.
But verbally, it is terrible to hear.
Well, see, the Numenorians, they die and they become incredibly angry about it because they want to live forever. And because the elves live forever. But see, the elves' fates are tied to those of Middle Earth, whereas the Numenorians, when they die, they go somewhere else to be with Iluvatar. And so... Done.
So it'll be in the second age.
The second, yes,
the
right.
The second age.
And whereas Lord of the Rings is the third age.
Sure. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, everybody knows that.
And see, the first age ends with the defeat of Morgoth, and Sauron was just one of...
We just have to just say that it's Lord of the Rings is still coming for Amazon. But I think let's not give as many details so they're tuning us out.
You feel like it's too much?
We just need to let them know the basics so that then they can tune Amazon out. If they want to.
They're going to make a show, and it's going to have swords and elves, probably.
And I think we can at least say it'll be in the second age, and that's about it.
So,
all right. And no other details, though, on when will this thing come out? And it is a TV show, right?
I like that. To me, I feel like they gave us a ton.
I've got nothing. Nothing.
I feel like they made a huge announcement.
No.
And Nikki's like, what?
Nothing.
When gonna be on TVs?
No, that is not how I am.
When on phone?
No, I just want to know when. The series is projected to be on Amazon Prime by the end of 2021.
Tell Nikki when on phone.
I was just asking the question. Everybody else is wondering.
Tell Nikki when on phone.
I know I sound.
I'll let you know, Nikki.
2021, not the beginning, but the end.
Remember, if you can just make it through the rest of the Riot, then you can probably make it through the rest of the week. And through the next several months. And then it'll practically be Christmas. The Riot on Radio U.
I really like these, but I don't know if I'd wear them. I'm looking at the brand new Adidas Jen Bartel shoes that are styled after Captain Marvel.
They actually have a pretty good look, but you'd have to. I'm not as bold. Normally, my shoes are not as bold, so I don't know if I could wear it.
I feel like I could wear those. I
Depends on
like
what
them.
else you're wearing it with.
Probably just jeans.
Well, I mean, like, what shirt are you going to wear it with? Because the shoes should stand out, so you want to just keep it calm the rest of the outfit.
I normally just wear a black shirt.
Okay, then that's great. I think it'll blend. It'll work then.
That's fine. I don't even think anybody's going to notice.
They won't look down.
I don't notice people's shoes very often.
Well, Adidas would like you to notice the Captain Marvel shoes. Mm-hmm. So these are a limited edition run.
Yeah, and do we know when they're going to be out? I don't see that here in the article.
It's today.
Oh, okay. So they go on sale in stores March 8th. $150.
So those are limited edition, and
Foot
they're
Locker only.
Exclusively, they're at flagship stores. I think you need to be aware of what that is.
Already, here it comes.
So make sure you know if yours is a flagship store, or if not, you have to get them online.
Let us tell you all the reasons why you're not going to be able to afford or find these new shoes from Adidas.
You can't even find them at a store near you. I don't even know. I'm sure you have a Foot Locker somewhere, but I don't know if it's what they call a flagship store.
I know there's a Foot Locker by the movie theater I go to.
Is that one, though?
There's like a Foot Locker and a Lady Foot Locker. It's a pretty big area, but I have no idea if it's a flagship store.
They suggest you go and check first if you're wanting to get them today, because it'll be limited quantities anyways if you want the new Captain Marvel Adidas shoes that are out.
Yeah, guess who doesn't want them enough to put any effort in whatsoever.
But interesting looking.
I think they look fantastic.
Not normally into the collab shoes, but these actually look really good.
I would wear them. Like, I think they're really, really cool looking shoes, but I am a cheapskate. I mean, I wear Adidas, but you know what ends up happening? I buy the cheap ones.
Yours are not the current season of Adidas.
Obadiah's like, I played soccer once. I can't let go, so I keep buying these indoor soccer shoes.
You love them.
It's like, and so just like so many other fat former soccer players, spot me my Adidas Sambas. Or in this case, the Hamburgs, which feels like a direct stab at the weight thing.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Hey, I'm going in this room, I'm going to get naked, and I'm going to be very well lit.